I was going through some stuff in the garage and I came across a box filled with memories. Some of them aren't even mine, but they were packed with love and left for me to discover someday. But a lot of them are mine, like this old reel-to-reel tape recorder. Truly a vintage piece, dating back to the time when Mission Impossible's Mr. Phelps was a good guy. Every week, he'd get a secret self-destructing message on a tape recorder just like this one. We had great fun with this electronic wonder. My friends and I would spend hours making up stories and recording songs from the radio. Mom used it too. Sometimes she'd sing, sometimes she'd catch Dad playing the piano, and sometimes she'd record secret messages for us with assignments, should we choose to accept them. It's been nearly 60 years since I heard my mom speak, and that got me thinking. I'm not sure I would recognize her if I heard her speaking. I might think it's just another stranger, another voice that belongs in the background. At this, my mind jumped to another place. My brain does this to me, and I'm used to it. There's a book I read with some friends. It's called Hearing God, also in print as In Search of Guidance. It's by Dallas Willard, and here he addresses this recognition factor in the spiritual realm. He basically asks, can we as humans recognize when God is speaking to us?
Willard answers this with an emphatic, yes, we can.
But he also asks, if we don't know God or are not familiar with how God communicates, would we even be able to recognize God if God was speaking to us?
If the only time we talk with God is when we're in crisis mode or to dump our wish list, we may never give ourselves the opportunity to really get to know God. If we've never had a conversation with God, we might mistake God's voice for that of a stranger or merely background noise.
Sure, God can use any means necessary to communicate with us. But looking at it from another perspective, if someone I claimed to know well needed to flash the lights or call down thunder from the skies whenever they wanted me to listen, I'm either lying about how well I know them, I'm deliberately ignoring them, or it's just not a healthy moment in the relationship.
Jesus speaks to us about being our shepherd. In John 10:27 and 28, Jesus says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me." And then Jesus, the ultimate master of the deal, says, "And when you follow me, you get something in return. I give you a life beyond what you could ever imagine, a life for all the ages. And I won't let anyone take that from you."
So let's immerse ourselves in the life of Jesus. He's actually pretty smart, and he's all about showing us the ways of God.
If we understand the things that Jesus cares about, that might help us recognize when God might be speaking to us and what God might be saying to us.
Knowing how God does things gives us a helpful context. Thinking back to my mom, even though I might not recognize her voice, I do remember that she knew me well enough to know that I'd need a reminder to clean my room, or that I would love getting a scoop of ice cream with her. She would also encourage me to be friendly with the goofy kids, the kids who got left out, the kids that were made fun of, even Jimmy, who was all kinds of weird, but ended up among my best friends.
In the same way, we can confidently know when it's God's voice and when it's not. God will never respond to our prayers for health, wealth, happiness, success, or security by cheapening anyone else.
Jesus makes it clear that God does not work that way.
As we bring our prayers and wish lists to God, remember that list is just the beginning of listen. Let's make sure that when we take a quiet moment with God, it's not a monologue. Go ahead with the wish list, but remember to listen.
So, don't be a stranger. Don't go so long that you can't recognize God's voice. If we make a habit of talking with God, we just may recognize when God has something to say to us.
God's kingdom come.
God's will be done.
On earth as it is in heaven.
Amen.